Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here. Super excited to be back with you. And today we are live in the chat because, as you know, the Houston Quilt Fest starts this week. So you've got a lot of Brother team traveling over to Houston, and we hope to see you there in the All Brands booth. In the meantime, we've got some great lessons for you this week. Today, Colleen has a great tutorial on making dog collars. It could be a dog collar, it could be a cat collar. And after watching this, you might even just want a dog because it's so cool. But I can think of some other ways to use this. Bag tags, things like that. But this is really fun. So pop in, say hi, say where you're from. We are streaming on Brother Sewing and Crafting YouTube and Facebook pages. And we're looking forward to seeing what you're sewing today. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Even if you're watching the replay, they send them over to us and we try to answer them, even if it's after the show. So Colleen has a very large dog. And when she said this could be on a cat collar too, I'm like, oh, I wonder, what about my squirrels? I could maybe do one on my squirrel or my raccoons. I'm not sure. Neither of them have collars, at least at this point. So this is a great project for Halloween. I'm actually wearing I hand dyed this top, and I always consider it my Halloween top because it kind of looks like the colors of a skeleton. Hopefully I don't look like a skeleton, but that's what the colors are. So we are getting ready for Halloween this week, and we're going to kick it off with Colleen today. So let's take a look at what Colleen has prepared. Come on over.
Hello, I'm Colleen, one of the Brother Education team members, and I'm here to show you today some dog collars and how to decorate them and how to make them fun. And I have a guest with me that I'll show you in just a little bit because I have his collar and he's kind of stressed about it. So this is his name and phone numbers on their collars so that if anything happens, they can get back to me real quickly. So I've blue taped out my phone number so you wouldn't try to call me with a question at midnight, my time. So I'm just laughing here, but this is what I do. I embroider a washer stabilizer, and then happens, your dog comes back to you. And yes, of course, we have tags, but I've known the tags to come off, and the collar doesn't usually. So let me put this back on Rico. It's the letters, and he's kind of pouting because he doesn't have his collar because it's his wardrobe. He likes to wear it. So there we go. Rico, can you sit up for the people? Rico's an old man, so he doesn't really feel like this whole thing right now. So Rico's 10 and a half years old. But let's get on to some other fun stuff. So collars, all kinds of collars. So I'm going to show you another collar right here. And this one I found at the pet store the other day. And what's cool about this guy is that it's reflective. Now, how reflective and cool it is would be to turn off all the lights in here, and then the video cameras wouldn't work so well. So I have played with it with a flashlight, and it does reflect. So it's a neat little collar in the Pacific Northwest. In the winter, it is dark by 4:30. Well, that's when you want to get your dog. So I have this, which is really cool and will reflect, and I will embroider his reflecting thread because you can buy that reflecting thread. So I will do that for him. So I have a couple of other collars that I was playing with. This is going to be his Halloween collar for trick-or-treaters, because the trick-or-treaters who know us always come to the door and they wait to see him. They actually see him before they pet him before they even get their candy because they're excited to see him. But this one is reflective also, and all it is just some decorator ribbon that I bought at the craft store, and this is an orange collar. I wanted it bright for Halloween, and then the stuff that you see is decorative and reflective. And then you just stitch it on top. So you can see the two lines of stitching where I stitched the top and the bottom into place. So it's secure. I mean, this isn't going to be his forever collar, but it sure is fun for the trick or treat. Or even in the winter when when we're walking at night, it's nice to have that reflection. And that was done with just ribbon, so it was a little less expensive than the reflective collar. This is just a name brand collar, because they have name brand collars if you're into having a name brand. This is a harness. Now, why do I need a harness? Well, I certainly don't need a harness for my dog, but a harness can help reduce stress on their shoulders and hips. The big thing is for this guy, it was meant for a little dog. So what you can do is you can grab right here and pick them up if they're in danger or doing something stupid. So these harnesses are really nice. I do not have a harness for my dog. I just use the collar and the leash, but they do make harnesses for the big dogs too, and they're very similar to this with a back. My neighbor has one with a pocket in it, so she can put food bags in the pocket when she's walking. I thought that was pretty useful. Now, leashes. We all know what a leash is. We all know how to make a leash and what they're for and that kind of stuff. But this leash is kind of special. And I found it the other day. So I'm going to hold it up so you can see why I think it's so cool. Too bad I can't hold it level. There. It's got a handle on it. So when I was looking at leashes, I thought, I love this heavy duty stuff. This also happens to have reflective marks on it, so it too is reflective. But I love the handle because sometimes I'm walking and my dog wants to explore, and I don't want him to explore as much as he would like to explore. And I can grab the handhold and pull him up tight because leash, which is about, I don't know, 20 inches maybe. So it allows you to pull him up and keep him right at your side. And I do that. My dog is tempered and sweet and wonderful, but not the dogs that we pass when we're walking are. So I'm able to pull him up right next to me with this handhold. And I thought it was such a clever idea that I bought the leash to show you, because I'm hoping you'll think it's a clever idea too. Now, let's see. I talked about the harness. I talked about this. What else do I need to? I need to show you how to put a name on a collar, because my dog has his name. Put it back on him, didn't I? My dog has his name and phone number on his collar. And I was looking at my husband. I took it off to have it up to hold up for you, and it stressed him out so much that he was laying here pouting. So back on him. And I'll show you how to do it on my sewing machine. It's super, super easy. And you just make sure that you have the good thread. In his case, I was using the reflective thread, which you can buy. If you don't have reflective thread, then I suggest you use white or a real bright color. Yellows are good. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you how I hooked it. So these are collar, what I call the actual collar, and it's what I call a collar drink. And I bought a reflective whatever this mesh stuff is, and then I bought the end pieces to put on it so I can make my own collar out of it. So here you go, and I'm going to take you over here to the machine, and I've already put his name in and got it positioned the way that I wanted, and I'm using white thread. One of the things that I didn't do that I should have done is I should have put a water soluble on top. The stitches were more crisp. I got white. I have it on a water soluble glue to hold place. This one is really super tight. And I'm going to watch it.
The embroidery unit will move.
I'm going to let her
keep your hands, etc., away from the carriage.
It's worked with me before. It tells me to keep my hands away. So here we are, and I have it lined up right here at the bottom of the, and it's just a hair under. I think this is 1.25 inches, and I have it stitching out at 1.12. So and tell it green for go. And it's just going to take 4 minutes. Oops, sorry, 3 minutes to do this. So it's not very long, but you'll get to see and hear how quiet the machine is and how beautifully it goes through even these heavy projects. So I'm going to go ahead and press start, and it ties a knot, and then it's just going to go ahead and stitch. I like this because I get the heavy duty that have never failed. So you can see she's speeding right along here. Not so that it doesn't unravel. That's the way these are programmed. And it also did a stitch knot to begin with, so that I don't have to worry about that end unraveling either if I were to cut the jump stitches between, because I'm not sure they're going to show. But if they do, it's a problem. I'm able to trim them. What is that? The door. I've been hearing a little rattling, and I hope you're not hearing it, but it was the door on my sewing cabinet doesn't shut tight. It must have something in the way. So you'll notice that I make the letter as I can. And hopefully the phone number. I'm not going to put my phone number on this. I will finish by doing it later, but I don't want to put my phone. No, I'm just kidding. Just put the phone number on for the dog, actually, because that way they can find them. And if the worst case scenario happens and they get picked, it's a quick and so 3 cut. It's ready to come out, and I'll pull it up so that you can see it
Embroidery.
clearly. I'm finished because, like I said, I'll go back and put my phone number in, but I want you to see how this looks in reality. When that's clear and crisp. And I'm standing about 4 feet from the camera.
3 or 4. Between
3 and 4, probably closer to 4, because my dog's laying in front of me too. But you can see that that's easily. It's with the white feather thread. It's really a good quality thread. And the collar that I showed you earlier when I took it off of my dog, that he's been wearing for, we think, probably about 8 years, because that's when he got to be a grown-up dog. And it still looks good. So to me, that was really impressive. So I always use brother thread because they make a great quality thread. Now I'm show you how to make a scarf, because scarves for a dog are just like scarves for us. They make us feel special. So he likes to feel special too. So he's really proud. Have one that has glow in the dark on it. And have this one, which is new for this year. Isn't it subtle and fun? It's spider webs. I thought he'd really enjoy that. So we have this one. And then I'm going to show you how to make a double-sided one, because those are fun too. So let's see how long I have to switch the machine over. Do you want me to put this on so they can see it with him with it on?
Yeah.
Okay, Rico, come on. Stand up. Good boy. Sit. He says, well, make up your mind. Is it stand up or sit? And let's just tie this under your chin. So I've given you, I will give directions. What?
Back him up.
He's hard to back up. He doesn't want to move. He is absolutely loving this here. Come here, buddy. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, see your collar. Okay. Isn't that fun?
Go.
Good boy. So, I have different sizes. This one, and I'll give you the dimensions of the fabric that I cut, because it took me some while to figure it out. So on your collar, be sure you put a name and phone number. And then for the scarf, measure your dog's neck loosely, because you're not going to tie it tight. And then for my size dog, which is 100 pounds, you're going to add about 8 to 10 inches to. And if your dog is littler, just measure it. And my dog has a 23-inch dick, but measure the neck, the scarf, about 6 to 10 inches, larger, because that makes it so much easier to work with. And we like it to be not hassle, right? So over here, where'd my other collar go? It's on him. Duh. He's wearing the other one. So I'm going to just show you how I did this. I'm going to put it down here on the table. And this one is a square. And the square is 30 inches square, because that's the size I needed for him. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to, my husband's pulling collars out of the way, and I'm like, what's he doing? So what I'm going to do is, this one is double-sided, and I think it's got some reflective in it, but I'm not positive. So here's what you do. You cut that 30-inch square or smaller to be small. So it's 30-12 when it's finished. So just cut the fabric 30 by 12.5. And then if you have a small dog, you kind of have to test it just a little bit to get it right. But what you're going to do is, I folded it because I wanted it, because sometimes the scarves will get flipped up in the back. And with this, I didn't like the look because it's too light colored. So what I did is I just cut it big enough so that it's double-sided. And then you can see I've put pin marks around it. And then here, where I have 2 pins, there's 2 pins here, and there's 2 pins here, and then there's pins that go the grain of where I'm sewing in the middle. That's how I remind myself, because sometimes I forget, that I'm not supposed to sew that closed. So when I stitch it, I'll just stitch down to the double pins, make a knot, and backtrack. Start again at the double pins, go to the corner, and come around. And we're going to do that. We're just going to take the machine out of the sewing mode, because I don't do this. So let's just tell it to go to sewing. And now it's in sewing mode, and I don't need foot. So let's get rid of that. And let's get a sewing foot. And I will have, I guess white thread will be fine for this. I was thinking I needed black, but white will work just fine, no problem. All right, so here we go. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just do a straight stitch. And I don't even have to do that. I can do the zigzag, but I like the straight stitch first. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this triple zigzag. And the reason I love triple zigzag is it is practically indestructible. It is so sturdy. Goodness, that's what I did with all my children's clothes when they were growing up. I made everything was with that reinforced with that triple zigzag. So I'm just going to put it down and I'm going to let it stitch. And I'm going to tell it. There we go. Oh, I have the foot controller on. There we go. If I don't have the foot controller on. Ooh, I have it in the slowest speed known to mankind, too. Okay, so you can see now I'm approaching. So I'm going to tell it to backstitch and cut. Now I'm going to skip over that space because I need a place to be able to turn this. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to just start. I'm going to slow down coming to the corner. Stop. Foot up. Pivot. And foot back down. And off we go. And we can go a little faster now. Not that it really matters. Usually my dog doesn't always stay in my room with me. He likes to look out the window. And the windows are too tall for him in this particular room. But because we're both in here, he is not moving. He wants to be a part of the party. So I'm going to just hit backstitch. And mine is set to do backstitch and cut. So it did that. Now, if I was really worried about this, I would go ahead and do triple zigzag. I'm not really this because I happen to know that he's only going to wear it for one, maybe 2 nights. One night for the trick-or-treaters. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to take my opening here. I'll bring it over here to the table so you can see me better. And I blame my dog, but he doesn't seem to want to move. He seems to want to stay right square in the middle of the table. He's a people dog. He loves to be where the people are. And he does not want to be left out of anything. My husband lived here with me, and the dog does not want to be left out. And I just heard my husband take the collar off, and now my dog is like, "Where's my collar? Where's my collar? I need my collar." So I'm going to use these tweezers to poke out the corners because they don't poke out really well if I don't. And
A little bit. This way.
forward.
Yeah.
Can you hear my director? He says up a little bit. Well, this is up. That's up. He's good help. I'm grateful. Okay. Oh yeah, the little black ones are reflective. I can see that now. Before I had the scarf inside out, so you could see it. Come on. So, and of course I didn't do a real tidy job here, and I am going to top stitch it for okay. Typically, I would iron this, but in this cozy space I'm in, I either have to pause and go iron it and come back. I just have to finger press. And since you know how to finger press. We'll finger press. And I'm going to grab this straight pin and pull out these corners because I didn't get them out all the way. And that bugs me. Okay, one corner here. Yeah, the little black ghosts are, that's, of course, the lights are always on and it's,
I'll interject an interesting note. When Colleen was sewing, did that sound like music to your ears? The sewing of the machine? It sounded to me, because I listened to her sewing, kind of puts me to sleep. However, the recording device picked that up as a song, picked it up as an audio. So it's giving me the settings to present that as an audio song in the actual recording. So music to your ears is the brother sewing machine.
it's funny and fun. And just tells you how good that avenue is, huh? Okay. So there we go. And like I said, I can top stitch it. And with him, I was considering doing the triple zigzag, but I'm not sure that I need it. I may just do a straight stitch around it. But definitely not in the white thread I have on there. So what do you think? Should I put it on him? It's got pins in it still. So cute. Oh my gosh.
Hold it up to her.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. He's like, okay, I got a new collar. The boy. Look at that. Isn't that cute on him? Oh, you can't see it because I got all my stuff in the way. Sorry. Look at him. I didn't tie it. I just put it on because it's not stitched all the way yet. But isn't that fun? Now, another thing you can do, oh, I took it over here. Another thing you can do if you don't want to have to tie it is use a lady's hair tie. And I had one laying around, but it's walked away. But it looks like a rubber band, and a lot of it's like to hold a ponytail or something. And what you can do, I haven't found it. All you have to do, let me put it here on the, let me find out which camera I'm using. Here we go. All you have to do is put the hair tie in and fold down a corner, stitch. And you do that, I'm going to do this with pins because I don't want to go back and stitch right now. But what you do, because I haven't stitched around it yet, what you do is you stitch it like,
Okay.
you stitch it like that. Now I need another pin because I wasn't smart enough to grab two at once. Okay, so the good side is you don't have to tie a knot and it goes on and off really easily. The bad side is if they don't like it, they can pull it right off. But there it is. And it just stretches to go over the head and then snaps on tighter so it stays nice.
Here.
Hold it up here, he says, but I don't know how to. I'm directionally challenged. There. So there's that, and that's just a ponytail tie. It's the big size ponytail tie, but that's what that is. And then this will just slide right over his neck and stay in place. So that was quick and easy. And you have a few ideas for Halloween. I hope your dog gets to greet the trick-or-treaters and like mine does. Mine thoroughly enjoys it. He gets petted by every child in the entire community. I think some we have a pretty steep driveway, and I think some actually walk up our driveway A, to pet him, and B, to get the big candy bars. We're a pretty steep hill, so
Give the big candy bars.
the big candy bars because they survived the climb. But this is really a fun time, and I hope that you have a fun time making scarves for your animal, making pretty collars, making a collar with the pretty flashy reflective ribbon collar with the sparkle reflective lighting, different things that we can do. My husband just picked up the dog's collar and his ears perked up because that's his wardrobe. So he knows he's supposed to have it on. And then, of course, here again, just as a reminder, this is leather thread, and this collar is probably about, we figure, at least 8 years old. And you can see that how well that thread is. Now, if the collar isn't so dirty, it would be much more reflective. It's easy for you to see. If it's on his back and someone comes close, they can quickly read his name and phone number, and that's really crucial for our dogs. So the big dog, yeah, because a lot of times people are afraid and they won't go near a big dog. And the little dogs are actually more inclined to bite than a big dog. The big dog figures he can handle the situation. At least ours always have. Rico is our 6th Akita. We've gotten them all as puppies and kept them for their whole life. So great breed. I hope that you have enjoyed our day together as much as he has enjoyed being in here and being on television and getting his new collar and his new scarf, because he will wear his scarf with pride on Halloween night. You can rest assured of that. He acts like a kid with a new coat. You know how they're excited and they want to show it to everybody? He's just like that. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. And I hope your animals have new collars. I didn't talk about the cat collar, but she gets one too.
Colleen, this is the cutest project ever. As I mentioned, she's got a great dog. After watching this, I want to get a pet just to be able to do this collar. But in the meantime, leave a comment below. Are you going to try this? This would be great on purses too. I'm thinking on the tags on a purse, or I have a bag that I go when I go for my walks by the beach. That would be a great way to customize my bag. So many different things here. So don't forget, if you try this, hit hashtag brothersews.com, add that to your post so we can see what you're working on. And if you see scrolling down below, that's how you find your local brother dealer. They've got some great sales this fall. A lot of them are still doing tech parties. So you can see what's new, what just came out. That's a lot of fun too. And in the meantime, I will see you Thursday. Lynn Lilly will be on the show with another Halloween project featuring art spira and sublimation. I'm guessing at that, but I'm pretty sure we're right. All right, everyone. Until next time, happy sewing. See
you.